Hello everyone, and welcome to one of the most legendary drives in the world, the road to Hana on the beautiful island of Maui, Hawaii. In this video, we will have a hood cam view of our drive, and along the way I will provide some tips and tricks to make your drive the best and most enjoyable it can be. It is not just a drive, but a journey through rainforests, waterfalls, sea cliffs, and ancient volcanic landscapes. This scenic drive on the island of Maui is known for its lush rainforests, waterfalls, and coastal views. It is one of the most popular things to do while visiting Maui, but it can take 8 to 12 hours to complete, including stops. The drive features 64 miles of winding roads with over 600 curves and 59 one-lane bridges. It is listed as a must-do in all of the Maui travel lists. The road to Hana was originally built in the early 1900s to connect remote communities along Maui's eastern coast. Just be ready for slow speeds and hairpin turns. The road, called Hana Highway, which includes routes 36 and 360, connect Kahului to the small town of Hana. To get to Hana, there are numerous twists and turns. Along the way, there are many chances to sample local treats like banana bread, ice cream, and coconut candy at the roadside stands. Driving the road to Hana can be challenging due to the winding roads and traffic, and it's best to drive slowly, be patient with other drivers, and be prepared for potential delays. Also, it's best to let locals pass if possible by safely pulling to the side. And like always, don't leave valuables in your car when stopping at attractions. Tip 1. Choose an app for the road to Hana that you like and download it before your trip. Also, download offline maps to the area before you go, because you will likely lose cell service along the way. We have always liked listening to the Gypsy Guide Road to Hana app, and it follows along with you and lets you know what's coming up ahead, like a cool lookout on the right or a food stand or waterfall, while also giving interesting history about Hawaii and the road to Hana during the longer driving areas. Tip number 2, understand the mile markers. They can be helpful, but they can be a little confusing also. Plus, it is hard to pay attention to them while you're driving the curves and bridges and paying attention to the scenery. Note that after you drive past Hanatown, they jump to number 51 and then they go backwards. Some notable stops or views include mile marker 2, Twin Falls, which is the first waterfall you will see. Mile marker 10, Garden of Eden, which is a beautiful botanical garden with bamboo, ocean views, and a 100-year-old mango tree. Mile marker 16, Kainu Arboretum, where you can see rainbow eucalyptus trees. Mile marker 17, halfway to Hana Stand, you can pick up some banana bread there or other snacks and drinks. Mile marker 19, Upper Waikani Falls, which is also known as the Three Bears Falls. Mile marker 31, Hana Lava Tube. Mile marker 32, which is the state park where you can check out the black sand beach. Mile marker 34, Hanatown with food options. Mile marker 42, and this is after number 51 that then goes back down to 42, which is Haleakala National Park. And this is the rainforest side of the park, not the sunrise sunset side that most people see while visiting Hawaii and have heard of. This is where you can visit the amazing PPY Trail and Waikiki Falls and the 7 sacred pools. Tip number 3, leave early. We usually stay at the Sheraton Maui in Lahaina, and our last stay was in July of 2025, and we left around 6 a.m. from the hotel. The drive is so much better with less traffic, and most people leave between 7 and 10 a.m. Yes, the road is windy, but the worst part of the road, for us at least, are the other cars. We have left as late as 1 p.m. from Lahaina before, but ended up driving back in the dark and didn't enjoy that very much. So there is a lack of guardrails and a lot of distracted drivers, and this road has been listed on the 5 most dangerous roads in the world list by BMW blogs before. So leaving early can make the drive less stressful for the driver and the passengers. And remember, they don't call it the divorce highway for no reason. Tip 4 is to reserve the Waia State Park passes as soon as they are released. This will require some planning, so you'll have to know which day you want to visit the Black Sand Beach. If you are not staying in Hana and you're doing the full drive in one day, I recommend reserving 2 back-to-back time slots, 12:30 to 3 and 3 to 6, so you'll have a little more flexibility and more time to explore. The fees in 2025 are $5 per person and $10 per vehicle. The tickets are up for reservation 30 days in advance at the hawaii.gov state park website. Also, when you are at the Black Sand Beach, I recommend a walk out to the far end of the beach, and then you go up the beach a little and turn, and there's this really cool hike that takes you to a nice overlook of the area. Tip number 5 is to bring a water cooler. We bought a cooler from Walmart near the airport the day that we landed in Maui, and we filled it with ice and snacks and drinks, and we used it a lot during our 1 week stay. We took it on the road to Hana with us to the Haleakala Sunset Drive that we did, that was like 2 to 3 hours away from Lahaina. Other hiking trips that we went on, and we gave it away before we left the island. Tip number 6 is to consider renting a crossover, Jeep, or a small SUV. We had a lot of luggage and quite a few people traveling with us this time, and we rented a minivan, but we regretted not getting something smaller and easier to maneuver on the road to Hana. We got a Chrysler Pacifica this time, and it was fine, but it wasn't the greatest vehicle to take on this journey. It was wide and long, and it was kind of a tight squeeze next to other vehicles a few times in the really narrow areas. And I mean, we've driven sedans, sports cars, even an SUV on the road to Hana, and we actually prefer any of the other vehicles we've driven before over the minivan. So that's just something to consider when you're reserving your rental car for your trip to Maui. Tip number 7, to consider doing what we did this time and drive all the way without stopping to the end of the road to Hana and then work your way backwards. We were able to leave the hotel around 6 a.m. and we made it to the PPY Trail in Haleakala National Park around 9 a.m., which was great. And by the way, this is not located on the side of Haleakala that you drive up to see sunrise or sunset. This is the other side of the park, which is rainforest. It's warm and humid, but if you did pay for a pass already or plan to, that same pass will work for 3 days at either side. So you can plan those 2 activities close together and use the same pass. The road to Hana was not too busy that early in the morning when we headed out. It was on a Saturday, and we didn't see that many people on the trail hiking until we were heading down from the waterfall. Then we drove to the Black Sand Beach, and we entered there around 1 p.m. And then after that, this time we visited the Hana Lava Tube and the maze. We spent about 45 minutes there, and we did a few other stops on the way back to the hotel. We also chose to drive on a Saturday this time. There was some construction planned during the week that we wanted to avoid, and usually there's more local traffic driving on the road Monday through Friday. So Saturday is also a busy time for travelers to fly into Maui and leave Maui due to taking a week of vacation and flying out on a Saturday. So we figured there might be fewer people driving the road to Hana. On Sunday, when we were looking, we did see that many of the roadside stands were closed along the way. So that's how we ended up choosing to drive on a Saturday. It wasn't actually too busy, even for July with all the summer travel. So leave early and consider driving all the way to the end, work your way back, plan your stops that way, and consider which day of the week you think would be the best one to drive on. Tip number 8, anyone in your car has a history of getting motion sickness, plan ahead. We had a friend in the car behind us who threw up most of the way there in the morning, and if you're not driving, it can really be a dizzying drive. Don't try reading or looking down at your phone. There are just way too many curves. Consider asking your physician about a scopolamine patch or meclizine before you travel to Maui if you're not going to be the driver. We passed at least 3 vehicles in the afternoon on our way back that were pulled over on the side of the road and had a bent over, very sick passenger throwing up. So don't even risk it. Think ahead, plan ahead for motion sickness prevention. Tip number 9, pack a swimsuit just in case. We don't usually swim when we drive the road to Hana, but the black sand beach waters were the calmest we had ever seen when we were just there in July, and the beach was full of swimmers this time. We've also seen swimmers in some of the areas with waterfalls. Tip number 10, make sure you have a full tank of gas before leaving in the morning. You can get gas on your way in the town of Paya, but that is more time spent when you're trying to get an early start. So we always like to make sure the night before the drive, the gas tank is full and everything's all laid out and we're all ready to go. Have I mentioned leave early? I will say again, it is best to leave early. We left at 6 a.m., but we could have left even sooner. Check for the time of sunrise. There's usually less traffic early, and you want more daylight time on your drive, so it's best to get an early start. Plus, your stops will likely be less crowded the earlier that you leave. Also, it's no fun to drive the road to Hana back in the dark. We have done it, and we don't plan on doing it again. If possible, consider staying the night in Hana. Then you can take your time on the drive and make plenty of stops. You can eat and sleep in Hana, wake up the next day, do the PPY trail hike early, and then head back at a more leisurely pace. In Hana, there are multiple hotels and places to stay, and we plan on doing it this way next time we visit Maui and staying one night in Hana. Be patient. Drive at a safe speed, especially on the one-lane bridges and around the blind curves. Pull over to allow faster traffic to pass. Locals tend to drive much faster and know the road better than visitors, and they will want to pass. Pack appropriately. This includes sunscreen, bug repellent spray, especially if you're planning to hike, towels and swimsuits, sandals, hiking shoes, a rain cover, snacks and drinks, and cash for vendors and attractions. Remember, on the road to Hana, the real destination is the journey itself. The focus is on enjoying nature and the unique experiences along the drive. You will never forget this road with all of the curves and one-lane bridges and the beauty of the Maui rainforest. That's all of my tips and tricks for now for the road to Hana. Sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of the drive. We'll see you at the end of the video. We really do appreciate you watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We really love traveling and documenting our journeys. Check out my other videos from our trip to Maui about the Hana Lava Tube, Black Sand Beach, snorkeling at Molokini, Monument National Park, and the PPY Trail. See you next time. you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We really love traveling and documenting our journeys. Check out our other videos on our channel. See you next time.